Hello, welcome back to Awakening with Soulspirational. I'm Tish, and today we're going to talk about the warrior self. The warrior that is within each and every one of us. You may not know it's there. Maybe you do and you just haven't tapped into him or her for a while. So the warrior self, we're going to find the energy of our warrior self within the solar plexus. So where your ribs come together, this point, right here on the diaphragm. So this is governed under the element of sun or of fire. When we are feeling less than strong, sometimes what we can do is hunch over and then block our own light, our own sun. So if you notice that you've been hunching more, try to straighten your back and put your shoulders back. So when we think about the element of fire, this is where we can think about the passion within. You know, we've heard the statements, fire in the belly. So as we are feeling into our own passion and our own willpower, I really see this as a very active chakra point. So again, this is where we're going to find the warrior within us. So if you're ready, I'm going to show you how to access your warrior self. So whenever you're ready, I'm going to ask for you to close your eyes. Take a couple of nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. As you exhale, just allow your body to relax. And the point of this is to take a moment to still and quiet the body and the mind. So now with your eyes closed, I'm going to ask for you to imagine that you can see your warrior self in your mind's eye. Now I'm going to ask for you, whether it's a him or a her, I'm going to ask for you to imagine your warrior self standing with their feet about shoulder width apart, their knees flexible, because a good warrior needs to have flexibility to be able to move through life circumstances, right? And then I'm going to ask for you to imagine that your warrior self, the spine is straight, the shoulders are back, chin is up, and the eyes are forward. Now I'm going to ask for you to look around your warrior self. Is he or her, are they carrying any weapons? Do you see your warrior self with any type of weapon? And there's no right or wrong answer here. It's just whatever you imagine. And it may be that later you tap into your warrior self and maybe you do see a weapon of some sort. All right, so as you see this warrior self, first of all, let's talk about the knees. When the knees are stiff, it's easier to push somebody over. When the knees are not, if there isn't enough strength in them, we have sayings like, oh, that person's weak in the knee or knees, or somebody is weak kneed. It to me conjures up this image that I just can't carry the load that I'm carrying on my shoulders. I can't bear that load. My knees are kind of crumbling, you know, under the weight and under the pressure. So what we are ultimately looking for are strong, flexible knees. So even if you have horrible knees, imagine your warrior self having beautiful, strong, healthy knees. Flexible. Okay. And then again, whether your warrior self is holding a weapon or not, it's just something for you to be aware of. So when we're thinking about the warrior self, one of the things that you can use this for is negative self-talk, negative dialogue. So if you're one of many of us that, you know, oh, you know, I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving, I'm not even going to bother to try out for that new position because probably not going to get it anyway. All this negative talk going on within your mind. What you can do, again, I would suggest with your eyes closed, is you imagine your warrior self and take one of those sayings. So maybe it is, I'm not worthy. And imagine taking those words, and if you want, you can imagine surrounding the words in a bubble. Use whatever imagery feels right for you. But then take that negative statement and imagine throwing it at your warrior self and see what she or he does to it. Now, obviously, I can't know what everybody is seeing, but in every circumstance that I've worked with my clients that I can remember, because I've done it quite a bit, is they see their warrior self either pulling out their weapon and slicing it or batting it away, because the warrior self is part of you. He or she is part of you. It's a way that we can use imagery to tap into, make our strength more tangible. It truly is there within us. So if you feel as though you are not in a space consciously to bat away the negative self-talk, give it to your warrior self. Let your warrior self destroy that thought. Maybe it's a negative image that you've been going over and over again in your mind. Send that negative thought to your warrior self. Let them destroy that for you. Step into your power. You have it there at all times. So here's the other thing with the warrior self. You can stand more in the warrior position. Because if, it's governed by the sun, the fire, if we're hunching over and blocking our light, or we're not allowing the fire within the belly, so to speak, to really get hot, because we keep kind of putting it out, hunching over, then what you can do is practice for yourself at home. When you stand up straight. Feel your spine straight. Put your shoulders back. And as we do this, it just kind of puts the chest forward. Like this sense of pride, and not an unhealthy pride. This sense of pride and this sense of strength. And then your chin is up and your eyes are forward. Now, I know for some of us that have gone through trauma, it's, I've met other people who feel as I do, where it's, we feel like if we look at other people, if we walk tall into a room, that we're going to be noticed. And maybe the people who are noticing it, maybe they can read us. Maybe they can tell that, we've had these different experiences, these unhealthy, unpleasant experiences, or flat out trauma. So then it's easier not to be noticed for some of us. Or we don't want to draw ourselves to attention because maybe there's an underlying fear that trauma could be repeated. So we kind of put the head down, keep to ourselves, don't want to be noticed. For me, I call it feeling like the wallpaper, just kind of blending in, not wanting to have any kind of attention. I know, and I'm on TV. It's weird for me too. So, but when we stand in our power, when we allow ourselves to just stand up straight, put our shoulders back, it just automatically feels better. It feels good. We're aligning the chakras, the energy can flow easier. We can breathe easier. We can actually even see easier because we're looking straight ahead instead of down. And when we're looking down, we're missing a lot that is up ahead. We're missing a lot just in life. A lot of the beauty that's out before us, but we keep looking down. So when you're ready, practice standing within the warrior self. What does it feel like? This is a great time too if you want to practice your mantras. For me, mantras are just words. They're something we say in our mind unless we feel the emotion behind them. And feel the mantra. I like to bring it into the solar plexus so we can anchor it within our being. I also like to send it through and down into the earth to ground it. But at the very least, know your mantra here or your affirmation statement here gutturally. So, for example, if your mantra is something as simple as, I am strong. I am strong. Well, maybe you start off saying, I am strong. Even doing this, it bends the throat, and the throat is the truth center. So then bring yourself up. Imagine opening up your throat, fortify the walls of your throat, and state, I am strong. Own it, and listen to how you're saying it. And then again, I am strong. I am strong. I am strong. And then really feel it. Often I'll ask my clients to place their hands on their solar plexus, because as soon as we do this, obviously it's sending a signal from the brain that we're going into this energy. And if you want, you can even close your eyes for it. Bring your attention into your solar plexus, and you may even see your warrior self in your mind's eye. And in fact, what is coming to mind too, you may even want to, if you're having a hard time saying it, imagine your warrior self and imagine her saying it, but you're going to just repeat it, him or her. So I am strong. I am strong. I am strong. Feel the energy of those words into your solar plexus. So again, we're getting that affirmation out of the mind, we're bringing it into the solar plexus, and we're feeling it because we're standing already within the warrior self. I am strong. I am strong. I am worthy. I am love. To feel into your solar plexus, to know it here, gutturally, the warrior self. So you can also do this, maybe you have an interview coming up, or you have a meeting with a boss coming up. And for a lot of us, we look at our managers, supervisors, etc., and immediately, some of us will just start to shrink. Before the meeting, maybe go into the bathroom, or before you start the day, before you leave your house, take a few moments to get into your warrior self. You deserve that raise. Own it. So sit across from your manager with your spine straight, your shoulders back. I'm going to assume you're probably going to be sitting down for the meeting. But keep your chin up and look at them in the eye. Because you know you deserve that raise. Can't say whether or not you're going to get the raise. But if you know that you deserve it, own it. Come in with backup. Maybe with your notes of why you deserve that raise. You want to start a new career? Why is it that you want to start this new career? What is it that you have to bring to this particular career field? And as you think about your skill set, own them. And for some of you saying, well, I don't have a skill set. Well, then get them. Start researching. There are so many different skills that you can get online with online classes and those kinds of things. How can you do it? How can you reach out, maybe if you know somebody in the field that you can learn from? And if you say, well, I'm afraid to call that person and ask, well, I'm going to ask for you to stand back up, firm and strong, straight and tall, and reach out to the person. Just do it. Just do it. Reach out and ask that person. If somebody is an expert in their field, you may find that by calling that person, they may be very happy to help show you the ropes or to give you some information of where you can go so that you can learn the information. And if that person won't, for whatever reason, go to somebody else in the field. If it's what you want to do, stand into your warrior self. And as warriors, we don't win every battle that we're in, but we get back up. And I bet for a lot of you that are feeling like you aren't strong enough to do something, you're probably the same ones that have had a lifetime of feeling as though you've been knocked down. And maybe not even feeling, though, being knocked down through life. And then I'm going to remind you of all the times you got back up and you pushed through and you kept going. So you are a true warrior. If you can hear this and see this video, you are a true warrior. Don't let anybody else's thoughts, opinions, judgments get you down. I have a video on that. Stop taking on other people's energy, or the energy of other people, however it's worded. So go look at that. Stop taking on their energy. Their energy doesn't belong with you. Your warrior self, that's true. That's you. That is who you are. You have the strength inside of you. And I'm reminded too of how many of us don't feel as though we belong. Maybe we haven't found that niche or that group of people, or we've tried to associate with certain groups of people, but we just found that we didn't belong. And it can make us feel, maybe some of us feel unworthy or strange, or what's wrong with me. And, you know, strange, I think, and weird is kind of a good thing. I own it. And you know what? I'm going to ask for you to maybe, just maybe, look at it as though it's because you weren't meant to belong with that particular group. That you were meant, you were born to stand out. By standing out, whatever your life path is, whatever your life journey, your soul's purpose is, it may be something outside of the pack. It may be something that you are to lead the group with. So if you feel as though you're alone and you don't fit in, you'll probably fit in here with us, because that's how most of us here felt most of our lives. And then we find our spiritual tribe, and it's just like going home. It just feels right. It feels good. And being in this space where we can recognize each other and honor each other for the uniqueness that all of us contain. That, you know, I say let your freak flag fly. Own your quirks. Own your weirdness. There's a reason for it. And if you just trust yourself, step into your warrior self, shift your perspective, step on out there. Maybe if you're open to spiritual groups, get out to a spiritual group. We're in Ohio, and I know other people watch us from different locations in Ohio and across the country. So you may not be able to get here, but if you go on, there's a social media site, Meetup, MEET.com. And when you go there, you can just search, you know, for, Reiki's the first thing that comes to my mind just because of what I do. But you can go down, there's a heading of, I think it's called Beliefs. So you can go in there and search. You can look up meditation. Whatever it is that you're looking for, just spiritual groups. And then there will be a field in which you can type in your zip code or your city and state, so you can find out what's going on in your own community. Get out there. And if the first group that you go to, you know, maybe something just feels off to you, I would suggest maybe giving them another try, because I swear the energy is just changing, the dynamic, with different people being in it at different times. But if you really feel as though the person that runs it, I know that not everybody who comes in here just loves Tish. Some of them are, you know, my energy's a little too out there for them. I get it. So they would be finding a different group. We are energy creatures, so we're going to gravitate to the vibration that we're on, right? So if you find a group in your area, and at first you're unsure, give it another try. Otherwise, if you really feel like, no way, I'm not going back, then try it a different group. Open up. Allow yourself to explore these aspects of you that may have been hidden within you. Some of us, when we're talking about spirituality, when we're talking about, you know, angels or the archangels or spirit guides, and I used to be one of them of going, okay, whatever. But when we open up to the possibilities, and for those of you who know, because you've been talking with maybe a past grandmother or past loved one, and I don't know why, but the name Jackie just came to me, so I don't know if somebody watching this has a past grandmother named Jackie that's around them. Anyway, so if you're already seeing, if you're already experiencing, but you feel weird, you know, why do I see, feel, hear, sense this? There are groups out here to help guide you through it, and it's wonderful. And in fact, it goes back, I can bring it right back up to the warrior self, because when we are engaging in spiritual classes, spiritual groups, and we are opening up to who we truly are, these gifts that all of us have been gifted, our psychic senses, our intuition, as we get validation on these things, you may find that you're feeling more and more confident in who you are and in your abilities. It may be that instead of like, for every small thing I'm calling my friend or a family member to get their advice, this one I'm going to just do on my own without asking. And I'm going to see how it plays out. Start trusting yourself. And if you want, if there's something coming up, instead of making a phone call, close your eyes, bring up your warrior self, and ask your warrior self the question. Should I do this? Should I do that? And see what reverberates back to you. Open yourself up. Own it. Own the beauty that is you. You are, there's just so much about you, about each and every one of us. And I think we're at a point in society where we can open up, we can tap into it, we can honor it, we can embrace it, and for some of us, letting it shine through, not being embarrassed by what other people think. I've spent too much of my time just, whatever, with what other people think. We cannot unexperience an experience. We know what we've experienced. Let that help guide you. Knowing what the truth is within you. Opening up and finding what that truth is within you if you haven't found it yet. And get back into the warrior self. Know that you do have the strength. As you have all these other times in your life, you've gotten through. You're going to continue to do so. In the meantime, when you stand up with your spine straight, again, feet about shoulder width apart, spine straight, shoulders back, chin up, eyes forward. Now, some people may resist that, like, oh, why is Tish all of a sudden with her shoulders back and just looking forward? That's a change of energy. Yep, it sure is. And it feels really darn good, too. Own who you are. You have every right, just like anybody else, of being here. Your light is just as bright internally as everybody else's. I firmly believe that God did not give one person more light than the next person. The way that you go about finding it may be different for you because your path is different, even from your siblings. Open up, embrace who you are, get in touch with your warrior self, stand in the energy of your warrior self, and go get life. You deserve it. I am strong. I am capable. Okay, the one about I am enough, I really don't like that. For me, it just feels like we're still selling ourselves short. So I am abundant. I am whole. I am love. I am loving. I am lovable. I am loved. I am. Feel into the authenticity that is you. Feel into the grace that is you, the love that is you. Tap into the God light that is flowing within you. It's beautiful. You're beautiful. It's strong. You're strong. And like I tell my clients, you got this. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. I'll put the website and my email address at the bottom of the screen. And otherwise, until next time, thank you, be well, and namaste.